I dare say there's not a person here that sometime in their youth, their parents didn't say you're judged by the company you keep. I know my parents said it to me often. And I want to thank the committee that saw fit to put me into the Hall of Fame with the class of 2014, because I think I'm in a pretty good company. I've enjoyed meeting all of them, but especially my buddy from the University of Richmond, Sean Casey. But I want to warn you now that the University of Richmond has only produced one stand-up comic, and it's not me. You know, everybody that stands up here, I'm sure, wants to thank everybody that's responsible for them being here. And if you're a football coach, as I've been or was for 50 years, and in Division III, you average about 50 new players every year. There's a lot of turnover. The guys come out of high school thinking they're going to be playing at the University of Virginia, and they end up at Emory and Henry, and they can't even start for us. So they decide that maybe football is not the best thing for them. But I estimated that in my 50 years of coaching, that there are over 2,200 players that have passed through our program and young men that I've had the opportunity to coach. And I tell you what, that they are responsible for any success that we ever had. The players, that's the name of the game. Coaches, you try to inspire them, you try to get them fired up and knowing and thinking that they can win, but you know, they're the ones that's got to do it. And listening to all these people, it reminds me, and y'all will probably think this is another joke, but I took a class in public speaking in college. And Professor Williams, and I don't know if Chuck Boone's here now, I know he remembers Prof. Williams, and he would work so hard to make us good public speakers. And then finally, on the last day of class, he walks in and he says, "Men, I'm going to tell you all 3 things that you need to know to make a good speech. You can forget everything else you've learned in this class." And I had already done that. Prof said 3 things. 1, have a dynamic opening. 2, have an impressive closing that they'll never forget. And 3, put the first one and the last one close together. I think we went to that same class that I took, because I got, the week before, I got a letter from Eddie saying, hold your speech to 8 minutes. Then I got an email, hold your speech no more than 8 minutes, 8 minutes or less. Then I got 2 phone calls. Be sure you hold your speech to 8 minutes or less. So like I told him, I can tell you everything I know in 5 minutes, and then after that I got to repeat myself. But I'm going to try to do what he said. I tell you, besides the players, and I had great players at every place I ever coached, at Midlothian High School, at Colonial Heights High School, at Hampton-Sydney, and certainly at Emory and Henry. And it has been such a good experience to coach these young men. But you know, one of the things that I began to realize is the importance of having a good fan base. Now, we have tremendous supporters, particularly at Emory and Henry, but Hampton-Sydney did too. But at Emory and Henry, we not only had our regular spectators, we had irregular spectators. And the irregular group, if Emory was playing football somewhere, they were there. And I've noticed many of them came here tonight too, and I certainly appreciate that. I'm glad Eddie put 8 minutes as a limit for this thing, because I timed it, and from my driveway to the golf course was exactly 8 minutes. And every time I'd leave, go into the driveway, Patty would say, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to work on my speech." And when I pulled into the parking lot at the golf course, it was right on 8 minutes. I said, "Well, I got it made, man. This is great." You won't believe this, but we're down in the mountains, and last week we had snow, and I had gone to play golf, and my 3 golfing buddies and I, we said, "Well, let's go get a cup of coffee." We went down to Marathon Station, which is Emory's answer to Starbucks. The biggest difference is at Starbucks you pay $5, there you pay 50 cents, you get free refills. So it's really good. But I was sitting there talking, and I said, "Well, I'm going to test." Well, the first thing the guy said, "You're leaving town? You going to Portsmouth and you're going to Florida?" I said, "Oh, good God, just leave your money with the pro and we'll just get it later on when we play." But they said, "Who are some of these people that are in the Hall of Fame that we would know?" Well, I can tell you, Division III football coaches are not at the top of the list, because I said, "Well, Stokely Fulton's a personal friend of mine, and I've worked for him for 20 years. He's in there." And they sort of looked at, "Well, I don't know him." They said, "Well, Ted Keller from Randolph-Macon, he's in the Hall of Fame. He's a Division ODAC coach." No, I never heard of him. And so I know what to expect now when I get out. But I got tired of hearing that. And they said, "Well, tell me somebody that's really..." I said, "Actually, I'm going into the Hall of Fame with Sam Snead and Curtis Strange." They said, "Well, they must let anybody into that." You know, I think I'm last because I'm the oldest. I don't know. But it reminds me of a story I heard once. They were talking about famous people at such young ages. And Mozart came up. And when Mozart died, he was only 35. When Mozart was my age, he'd been dead for 45 years. So, as I look at these people up here, they all look awfully young, and they have accomplished so much. And it's certainly a great honor for me to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame with this group of 2014. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.